It's time to do the Thursday puzzle on March 5th. This one is by Han Huynh. It's a very familiar name. He's made puzzles for a long time. I'm very excited to see what he has for us today. Replay technique informally could be slow mo. I'm not sure why it would be a technique per se. Technique doesn't seem like the best word for it, but I can see it being this. Woodworking machine, some kind of saw. Uh, Choreograph. Um, I don't think so actually. Might not be slow mo either. Let's see. There are a lot of short answers here. I wonder what could be here. Something. Oh, this is the revealer. Okay. But I'm just gonna come back to this because I think this is La Scala. I do recognize this. This is an opera house, I believe. Letter in support is a rec. An approximate number could be an estimate EST. Media sales agent could be an ad rep, might sell you ads or something, or be someone that sells ad spaces like that. To be on one's back, to nag, I would have thought, to bring shame upon, winning hit at a Wimbledon, could be an ace of, is it not La Scala? I'm gonna see what this is talking about. Long shot candidates or a hint to 6 answers in this puzzle. I think it's dark horses. Long shot candidates are sort of unlikely people, but they're dark horses. Gumbo ingredient is okra. Pack it in could be to cram. Bocce player skill is aim, and you just made that up. Another phrase you might say is liar. With 58 down, Begonia actress Emma Stone. Ah, right, because Begonia is a new movie. I think I've seen trailers of it, and Emma Stone is in it. I just saw Begonia and just like immediately went to thinking like this is just an old movie, like in the 50s or something that I've never heard of, but I have heard of it. And I think it's coming out soon. Maybe it already has come out. To serve as soup, you might ladle the soup out. Okay, so I'm just gonna go back to this. I think this is talking about there are certain black squares in this that actually should represent like almost a rebus square. So the rebus squares are squares that have multiple letters in one space, um, and you have to sort of pretend that some of these squares actually have like a horse, like the letters spelling a horse in them, and you kind of have to reinterpret your answers with them. That probably explains why there are so many short answers here in this grid, because in reality they might be longer. If you have to really pretend that some of these are not there. Let's see. um, so some horses I might think of are like roan, mare. What other words are there? Stallion is kind of too long though. Pony could also work. I could see pony being one of the words here. Um, you have mare. I already said that. Colt could also be one. So there are a few like short horse names, I guess you could say, and I can imagine some of them would show up here. But let's just take a look at see what else there is. Labor Day follower could be Tuesday. Maybe that's what it's talking about, like Tuesday. Because Labor Day is always on a Monday. So in general, if you're talking about like general Labor Day followers, could possibly be Tuesday the answer. CVS Health subsidiary could be Aetna. I know it's a health insurance company, but could be Cigna also. There are a lot of them like that. Cigna, Aetna. Leaf to Eric the Red is his son. This still doesn't help me if this is Aetna or Cigna, but I think Aetna is more likely just because it has these interesting letter combinations that are very prone to being in puzzles. Performs at a Thunderbirds show. Could be something with an S here. Thunderbirds, is that possibly like an air show thing? Are these airplanes? Is this aviates? Performs at a Thunderbird show? Let's check this V. If this is aviates, this should be a V here. So Cabernet Sauvignon et Zinfandel. Okay, so I think this is right then, because this is sort of written in French. The way you're supposed to interpret this is that these are words for like how how do you say it? Like wine in, but the French word for wine is vin, and this could be aviates. Makes me wonder why they didn't turn this into vine and eon. I think that would have been a bit more, I guess, palatable for a puzzle. Because vin with an S is a bit awkward, I would say. But maybe there's a reason. Maybe vine shows up somewhere else. Maybe eon shows somewhere else in this puzzle. That's why you can't have the repeats here. Or maybe this is partly to do with the theme. It could possibly be due to the theme. So let's see what else there is. To estrange, and I have to keep in mind, probably some of these clues are not going to make sense because you have to put in the dark horse somewhere, and there are 6 of them, 6 squares where this happens. So potentially a lot of these clues are not going to make sense at face value until you add in a hidden dark horse somewhere with these black squares. Puma's pad. Puma's pad. Oh, Puma, as in the shoe brand. It's an insole, a pad, right, for a shoe. A real genius could be an Einstein. What else is there? List of starters could be lineups. So what is this? You want to be asked for the last 4 digits of your SSN, Social Security, and epi, as an epilogue, for instance. Tuesday, so that is correct. Okay, so I haven't figured out where these dark horses are. This is going to get me kind of worried. Oh, perhaps maybe this is something to do with it, right? This is why slow-mo didn't really make sense in the beginning, but I'm going to go with that. Probably not right there. But let's see what else I can get. Trendy could be hot. Dips a toe in is to tests the water again. Like yesterday there was one for tests the water. It was a clue said test the water. The answer was sip. So it was a sort of a twist reinterpretation to be quite literal. Feature of the Cyclops is one eye. Decide to deal with at a later time. You might table something. You might set it aside for later as an official actions. Typewriter feature. Tab set, I think that's what it's called. Sort of, I guess it's like the margin, how far you set it or something. Spots where the pins are dropped, so you might drop them at alleys. That's right. Pee-wee of baseball. Is it Reese, perhaps? Center of a Scrabble board is a center star. That's right. And bass could be, I mean, it could be ale. Base? I don't know how to say it. But enemy of Wonder Woman is Ares, possibly. Ares is the god of war. And I don't know, like, why else. I don't know what else it would be besides Ares, even though I don't see the connection with Wonder Woman, which is quite modern, and Ares, which is a mythological creature. Oh, sorry, mythological god, not creature. Mythological person, you could say. Okay, this is not getting me any closer to what I really was trying to get at, which is where is this dark horse, and where does it come from? A hint to 6 squares in this puzzle. I really feel like this should represent something, but this is the right definition of dips the toe in. There's nothing to be reinterpreted here. Same thing with this. Pee-wee Reese definitely sounds like a name, so I don't know. Parenthetical remark could be an aside, and burden could be the onus. Like the onus is on you to do blah blah blah. Baby, something in 2008 comedy. Baby, I don't know. Magic power freshly could be something restart, like started anew. Could be started freshly. Boarding pass info. You might be given the row of your seat. User of the Force could be a Jedi. So a magic power is mojo. And what is this? Baby mama? That's right, because you could sling mud, so that's right. Let's see. Comes face to face with. Faces. No, the answer's not faces, of course, because the face is in the clue. They wouldn't do that. Comes face to face. Could be meets. To remove from power could be to eject. To unseat someone. Choreograph. I'm not sure what's going on here. Woodworking machine is a lathe, right? But, I mean, I can't think of what else it would be. Lathe is an answer, but it's not 6 letters. That's the problem. Sewing cooking class. Oh, I know this one. This is home economics. Nice. Restaurant booking for short could be a reservation. I think it's with a Z over there. And what is this? San Diego suburb. I believe there isn't a Z there, but I can't think of what answer this would be. This might be groundbreaking. And summer vacation locale, the shore. Sure. Carrier based in Ben Gurion Airport. Um, Carrier is some airport. Um, endures is an S there. Always there. Is this ever present? Always there. Always there. I feel like there's got to be some theme thing going on here now. I still can't figure out what it is. Face card's value often is 10. I think that's right. There's no trickery here. Gomez's cousin on 1960s TV. Okay, I think this is the the Adams family. So this is it. And I just know that because cousin it is what they say. I know nothing about this character, not even what this character looks like, but cousin it is. ITT, I've seen that quite often. To bring shame upon, to disgrace, right? Disgrace. Race is dark. Is a race like a dark horse? Something else I also realized that Arab could also be a name of a horse. So we have colt, pony, Arab, mare, roan. A lot of these like horses names that could be fit inside a square as a rebus. So I'm still looking around for that. I don't know what it would be. Yeah, I still have no idea. Of choreograph is to I don't know. Golf gimme, golf gimme. Something par, right? Deadwood actor McShane. I don't know. Man, a lot of these don't really make sense. I mean, that's to be expected, I guess, because there's some theme I haven't figured out yet. Otolaryngologist for short. Ear, nose, throat, I think that's what it was. Otolaryngologist, because oto means ear, laryng means throat, and otolaryngologist. I think this whole thing just means nose and throats, really. I think it's ENT for some ENT, like ear, nose, throat doctor. Okay, let's see what else there is. Blitzkrieg Bop Band. The only three-letter band I can think of is ELO. ELO. There might be some other ones. Can't think of it right now, but I'm gonna go with that. Like Cabernet Sauvignon vis-a-vis White Zinfandel. So what is this in comparison to this? I can't think of what it is. Might not be that. Mrs. in Spain is Senora, SRA. A big one might be challenging to work with. A big ego might be challenging to work with. I mean, you always see this kind of thing with the word ego. You always see like the word big or like diva or challenge, like problem in some way. Like every time you see like problem, one of the first words I think of is ego. And it's just a common pattern that shows up. Like, I don't know why specifically ego is the one that's being mentioned all the time as being a problem, but it is. I think it's ego. Fiddlesticks, I don't know. Accept the terms of is to agree to something. A pack rat. A pack rat. I'm not sure what this is getting at. What is this? Like maybe with an ER at the end. So drier. My son might be drier. I don't know what a dry wine is, but I know it's a thing. But it's just absolutely nonsense to me. I don't understand how wine can be dry. Blitzkrieg Bop Band. I still don't know what this is. Blitzkrieg Bop. Haven't heard of it. Rang out could be a D. Pack rat could be a hoarder, someone that packs a lot. Maybe a pack rat. Fiddlesticks could be ga. Be silent. Ba. Fiddlesticks. Ba. That's what Scrooge says in the Christmas Carol. He says ba humbug. Ba is a sort of exclamation of frustration or just general indignance. Like fiddlesticks is a similar old timey word you might say. Yeah, nor is this is a very roundabout way to have the word nor in there, but yeah, that seems to work out. To dole out, maybe to mete out, to distribute something, like give it ration out, kind of something like that. Oh, Ram, of course. There was another band name that was three letters. I haven't thought of Rem. So there was ELO and there's Rem. And what is this? Rang out might have been peeled, but that's not the right word. That's not the right spelling of peeled. Rang out. So it might not be peeled then. Um, to bring shame upon. Oh man, where are these? Where are these dark horses? It's really getting to me. I'm not understanding. Um, let's see. Maybe it's a completely different. Maybe I'm interpreting the completely wrong. Maybe it's not actually a rebus, hidden rebus. I don't know. I don't know what it could be. Lead into determined or destined. Predetermined or predestined. That's right. It's a prefix to that. Fundraising organization could be a PTA. This could be Nate Archibald. I think that's what it was. Nate packed it in. I don't know. Golf gimme. Could be a golf gimme. I don't know. Endures and always there. Okay, so oh, maybe it's not. Okay, I'm seeing what's going on. This is ever present, so it's not multiple letters in one square. It's just one letter in each. So somehow this is an R, an S, which links up with this. So dark horses is just literally the letters in horses. So I'm looking for maybe an S or an H going here, um, somewhere. But here's an R and here's an S. So ever present is always there, all ever present, and these just happen to work out. Um, let's see what else I can get. Golf gimme. Uh, horses. So where's the E and where's the S? Law enforcer in Leicester is a constable. Okay, so it's a constable. That's what it means to be like a sort of sheriff, like a kind of a small town sheriff, I imagine. A constable with an S at the end. And where's the E? So here's an S here. There's an R and an S. So we have the R, S, and final S here. There's an E somewhere over here, which I can't think of. DOJ bigwigs in brief. Department of Justice bigwigs. I feel like this is literal. Like this looks like it's a literal definition. Let's see what else I could get. So somewhere there's an H and there's an O. HO or C. Should have listened to me as C. That's right. Remove from power is to overthrow. Okay. Overt and row just becomes overthrow. It's very nice that these are words in their own right, or at least, justifiably words you might see. Because the overt and row, con and table. And they just happen to form another word when you put the actual missing letter in there. So this is overthrow right here. So H, R, S, and S are all found. And there isn't O somewhere else. Where is the O going? To dishonor. Dishonor. So you have dish and nor, put an O there, it becomes dishonor. To bring shame upon, so dishonor. Dishonor your family name or something. Oh, to estrange is to alienate. Oh, I didn't even notice that at that point because I had all the letters just happen to work. Ali and Nate are certainly names and they're very common. They can show up in puzzles, but alienate. Okay, so I think with that, we've gotten all the theme material. We have HORSES. And I think as far as endures, so you really just pretend like India cross and the down that those are not there. So you have Blitzkrieg band, Supercar, Well, actually, um, yeah, lives on. This becomes lives on. Um, I'm not really sure like what the Ramones. Oh, it's the Ramones. Oh, it was not Rem. That's why this is peeled. I was so confused. So peeled spelled like this means as a bell is peeling, like the peels, but peel with a double E, Peel means to peel a banana, for instance. Um, so peeled with an A, that's why it is. So I was so confused because it's not Rem, the band, it's Ramones. That's also a name of a band. Um, let's see what else there was that I can get. To choreograph. So this is an H here. I've got to remember that. So to orchestrate. Oh my god, it goes all the way down here. That's incredible. So because I forgot, like there's actually an H and an R in these positions. This becomes orchestrate with a T at the end. Orchestrate. Oh my goodness. Then what else is there? Over here, PAS S over here and an S here. Pass uh winning hit at Wimbledon is passing shot. I don't know. Ire is wrath, and a golf gimme is a tap in, tapping passing shot. That seems to work. AG's passing shot. Does that is that right? Big Dutch Bank is ING. Is that right? ING. It could be. It could be. DOJ bigwigs is Attorney Generals. That's right. AGs. That's why it is. Okay. Wow. I'm impressed by this. This goes a lot deeper than I thought it was. Um, woodworking machine. Uh, what is that? Can't think of what it is. This might be groundbreaking. Shovel. A shovel might be groundbreaking. Oh, El Al is a carrier based in Ben Gurion Airport. You know, for a long time, this has not appeared just because, in a way, the anything associated with Israel has almost just been sort of shadow banned from the New York Times. I mean, there's a good reason why I feel because it's El Al also has quite some involvement with uh Israel military things like that, but this is not really a political channel. I shouldn't be going into things like that. And just to be clear, I don't even know if I got the details correct, but I would say from a crossword point of view, this was sort of the first time in a very long time I can remember that El Al has appeared in a puzzle. Um, Perhaps it was also just by the constraints of this puzzle, like you just kind of had to have this, and it's just a name of a company that exists. It's not an endorsement of anything, but it is just an acknowledgement that it exists and it is culturally relevant. So may as well just make the most of it. Just you know, it is a word. It is a word. So I'm not gonna say more about it. Does this help me with anything here? Maybe this is with an S for res, as in reservation without a Z. So replay technique could be slow mo. It could be slow mo. One reached by dialing zero is an operator, OPER, and a shaper, and La Mesa. Nice. Okay, so we solved a Thursday, and you can see what's going on here is that we have all of these, which are secretly, not actually blocks. They're actually just sort of open, and it's honestly quite impressive that we managed to fill the center because the center looks like it's a tiny center with a bunch of really small words. But really, this is brilliant. This does feel like this is sort of similar to another puzzle. I feel like Han has published another puzzle that looks like this very similarly. And I can't remember for the life of me what it was. Um, but I remember there was this one grid where there were a ton of three-letter answers, and it just happened to be that some of these were really like you had to pretend that they were not there, and that they were actually filled in with these letters. But I think it's beside the point for this puzzle at least. We have dark horses, which just kind of signifies that we have the letters in horses, and it was sort of a direction I was not anticipating this would go. In hindsight, it actually is very very difficult to be able to fill this grid with the black squares being horses actually like rebus names for horses. Like if it's already so difficult as it is to have six of these be letters, and you have to pretend that they're not there, and instead if you were to have them be rebus, you have that's a whole world of pain where you had to figure out how you can get everything to fit, and it's not easy. It's not easy. But yeah, um, I would say given how difficult, just in principle, this whole thing is, I can see that some of these uh, clues were very direct, nothing super question marky. Like we have something like this, spots where pins are dropped, but I think it's quite easy. Um, Sort of the idea with all of these is that there's always like a certain keyword you need to focus on, and in this case, pins is the keyword you have to reinterpret. What are some other things like pins is stands out immediately because um pins is such a specific word in this case. Drop potentially also, but I think pin as a noun is like sort of the thing that you need to focus on. Like what are some pins? Um so pins in a bowling alley, of course. Pack it in is to cram, quite literally. But yeah, I think aside from that, these are quite some very straightforward clues. Some of them quite difficult and not very well like mainstream knowledge, but I think all in all, it was a very fair Thursday. It took me quite a long time, really, but I appreciated the challenge. All right, so thank you, Han.